Manchester by night feels like a city that switches personalities the moment the sun disappears behind the old brick warehouses and modern glass towers. As daylight fades, the streets slowly light up with neon signs, glowing shop fronts, tram lights cutting through the dark, and the low hum of anticipation that something is about to happen. This is a city with a deep musical soul, an industrial past, and a nightlife energy that doesn't rely on flashy excess but on character, history, and raw atmosphere. Walking through Manchester at night is less about ticking off famous spots and more about absorbing the rhythm of the city as it breathes after hours. One of the first things you notice is how compact yet diverse the nightlife zones feel. Within a short walk, the environment can completely change. In the northern quarter, the streets feel gritty and artistic. Wheat graffiti-covered walls, independent record stores turned into late-night hangouts, and bars that look understated from the outside but explode with personality once you step in. The music here is often alternative, indie, electronic, or experimental, reflecting Manchester's legacy as the birthplace of iconic bands and movements. The sound quality in many venues is surprisingly refined, with well-balanced acoustics that let live instruments and DJ sets shine without overwhelming the listener. As you move toward Deansgate and Spinningfields, the mood shifts into something more polished and modern. Glass buildings reflect city lights, creating a sleek urban aesthetic that feels almost cinematic. Here, rooftop bars and high-end lounges dominate the scene. The design elements are carefully curated, with mood lighting, minimalist furniture, and panoramic windows that give you sweeping views of the city skyline. Performance-wise, these venues focus on consistency and atmosphere rather than raw intensity. The music is smoother, often house, R&B, or mainstream electronic, designed to keep conversations flowing while still maintaining a vibrant background pulse. Manchester's nightlife performance is not just about music volume or crowd size, but about timing and flow. The city understands pacing. Early evenings are relaxed, with people easing into the night over drinks and casual conversations. As the hours pass, the energy gradually builds rather than exploding all at once. This creates a natural progression that feels welcoming even to first-time visitors. Bars transition into dance spaces. DJs increase tempo, and lighting shifts from warm tones to more dynamic, moving patterns that subtly encourage movement without forcing it. A unique selling point of Manchester by night is how deeply music is woven into the city's identity. This is not just a place where music is played. It is a place where music history lives. From legendary clubs that once hosted groundbreaking acts to small basement venues nurturing new talent, the city treats music as culture rather than background noise. Even in casual pubs, live performances are common, and the musicianship often feels authentic rather than commercial. The performance quality is driven by passion, with artists and DJs who understand the crowd and adjust their sets in real time, creating a shared experience rather than a one-sided show. Design elements across Manchester's nightlife reflect its industrial roots. Exposed brick walls, metal beams, and repurposed factory spaces are common, giving venues a raw, honest feel. Instead of hiding the city's past, designers embrace it, blending old structures with modern lighting and sound systems. This contrast creates spaces that feel both historic and contemporary. The lighting design often plays a major role, using shadows, spotlights, and color changes to enhance mood without distracting from the social experience. It has a visual language that feels intentional and immersive rather than flashy for the sake of attention. The crowd itself is a defining feature of Manchester by night. There's a noticeable mix of locals, students, creatives, professionals, and travelers, all sharing the same spaces without rigid social barriers. The vibe is generally friendly and inclusive, with a sense that everyone belongs regardless of style or background. This openness translates into the overall energy of the night. People dance freely, conversations spark easily, and there's less of the aggressive competitiveness found in some nightlife capitals. Performance-wise, this makes venues feel alive and responsive, as DJs and performers feed off genuine enthusiasm rather than forced hype. Transportation plays an underrated but important role in the night experience. Manchester's trams and late-night buses keep the city connected even after midnight, allowing people to move between areas without stress. Late-night street food stalls, kebab shops, and 24-hour eateries become social hubs where people gather between venues. The performance aspect here is subtle but important, as the smells, sounds, and casual interactions add layers to the night. The design of these spaces is often simple and functional, but they contribute to the city's authentic charm. Sharing food at 2 a.m. becomes part of the memory, not just a necessity. Another standout feature is how Manchester balances mainstream appeal with underground culture. Visually, the city at night offers a blend of old and new that feels distinctly British, yet globally relevant. Victorian architecture stands alongside modern skyscrapers, all illuminated in ways that highlight texture and form. This visual contrast enhances the travel documentary feel, as every street corner tells a story. Camera movement through these spaces would capture reflections on wet pavement, silhouettes of people against lit windows, and the steady motion of trams passing by, all contributing to a cinematic narrative. Some venues wind down, others hit their peak, and the streets take on a quieter, reflective tone. Conversations become deeper, music becomes more immersive, and the city feels both alive and introspective. This late-night phase is where Manchester truly reveals itself, stripped of early evening polish and driven by pure connection between people, music, and place. The experience doesn't demand attention. It earns it through consistency and soul. For a travel documentary, Manchester by Night offers layers of narrative. It's a story of heritage and evolution, of sound shaping identity, and of a city that understands how to celebrate without losing itself. The performance aspects are strong but never overpowering. The design elements are purposeful and rooted in history, and the energy flows naturally from one moment to the next. It's a nightlife experience that stays with you, not because it was the loudest or wildest, but because it felt genuine, human, and deeply connected to the city's heart.